What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris. This is my channel called Mumble. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about my Infiniti G20 and the things I love about this car. So let's go ahead and get into this video.
They want the best of me now. They want the best of me now.
Haven't drove this car in a while since school has stopped. I think it's been about a week. Let's go ahead and take this car right here. Let's go ahead and start this car up. And this is one thing that I really hate is that belt squeal, guys. Hold up, bro. You can't cuss on YouTube. What? Oh my God, that almost slipped out. So the first thing I love about this car is the overall design. It has a very old school design. Also, these buttons right here are very easy to read, and I got used to the car right away when I got it. There's a lot of dust and stuff, but you know what, it's been kind of dusty outside. There's been a lot of pollen. These panels are pretty nice, being that it was a 2002 car. I like this overall. They took it over here to the seats as well, so this is the sport design of the G20. Here are the headrests, so it's not a bad design, to be honest with you guys. They did it on the back seats as well. You see, it's very boxy. No, I'm not sure why this always happens, but every time I film a video outside, it gets super windy. I've complained about this camera so many times, but this video is not about the camera, so let's go ahead and continue it. The car has a very old school look when it comes to the exterior as well. I really enjoyed the overall exterior look of the car. It reminds me of those old school Jettas, the square body ones. I've always admired those cars as well. So driving this car around kind of makes me appreciate it more because there's not that much aftermarket support when it comes to this car. So it makes me wonder, this car was very well designed in a way, and it's a very good looking car if you take the time to appreciate and look at it. It does have that old school feel, you know, whereas my G37 is a lot more round around the edges, whereas this one is more square body. You can see a big difference between both cars. The second point, I might get some backlash on this, but it's the SR20D that comes on this car. It's an overall very good and reliable engine. I've been having this car since it had 103,000 miles. It currently has about 157, so a total of 54,000 miles. The car has not broken down. It has not left us stranded on the side of the road, and the engine is very reliable. It has 1,000 oil leaks that I've tried to narrow down and fix, and it's still running. Sure, it does have an oil burning problem or an oil leak problem, but it's nothing that, you know, it's a big headache or anything like that, because this is something I normally check with my cars, especially when you own older cars or owning a BQ car. You know that this oil consumption thing happens a lot with Nissan, so it's nothing new to me. The third thing I want to talk about, guys, is how easily you can swap in so many motors into this car. SR20BE, SR16BE, BQ35DE. You can also swap an SR20DET, which is a turbocharged engine. That engine has about 201 horsepower to about 227. So it's not a bad motor at all. And think about it, having a 140 horsepower car going to about a 227 horsepower car. It's a big difference, and it's going to be a pretty fun car. Plus, you can also modify it a little bit further by adding a bigger downpipe, bigger exhaust, bigger intercooler. So the possibilities are endless when it comes to this car. Sure, the market might not be as big, but like I said, it's one of the things that makes this car super rare. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about this car. Look at the different swaps that can be done. I've thought about doing maybe a BQ35DE if something ever happens, a B6 swapped G20. That'd be a pretty fun car. Now, I've had this car with one intention only, and for it to be a daily commuter car that I can take to and from work, and a gas saver as well. This car has saved me so much gas compared to driving my G37. I've driven my G37 for the past 2 weeks because we had to fix that AC line, and it was getting real hot here in Texas. We finally fixed it. We've been driving this car back, and I felt the difference. My pockets felt the difference. Putting $30 on this and getting a full tank of gas is great, whereas putting $55 in my G37 for a full tank of gas, it's going to last me about 3 days, 4 days if I'm lucky, because I do a lot of highway driving, and especially through traffic. Miles per gallon in traffic don't go too well. Driving this car around, I've been able to get about 5-6 days out of it on a full tank of gas. I overall love the fact that the AC on this car is real cold, and it's not just the fact that I changed out that line. Before that line went out, This car will have the coldest AC I've ever had in any car. You could put it on a mid-low setting and it will still get pretty cold in here. Also, I've never complained about the space in this car, whereas my G37, I'm only able to fit so much stuff. The trunk is a lot bigger on this car from what I can tell. Well, the back seats are a lot more useful than my G37. If I ever go pick up any wheels, I can easily throw them back there and put them side by side, whereas on my G37, it's a little bit more cramped. So this car has that purpose and it fulfills it pretty well. It's a great daily commuter car. If you're looking for one as a daily driver, the last thing I love about this car is the best thing I love about this car, which is going to be the overall rarity of it. It's not a very common car. So I've driven this car for about 3 years. In those 3 years, I've only been able to see about maybe 5 or 6. Think about it, 5 or 6 cars of this same model in 2-3 years. That's pretty rare. And it's funny because it's not anybody that's an enthusiast that's driving this that's fixing it up. Actually, let me stop that, because I've seen one that was modified. All that one had was just wheels and it was dropped. That tells you how rare these cars are if you're only able to see about 5 or 6 within a 3-year span. And I think this car is becoming one of those cars that's just becoming rare over time, and people are gonna learn to appreciate them. Maybe one day somebody's gonna Google and they're gonna come up with this video and be like, wow, that was a pretty cool car. You know, it's something that's just been forgotten about. I think it's the overall fact that it's a little bit too heavy, which is one reason why people don't want to modify it too much. But think about it, so many cars nowadays are over 4,000 pounds. So if you hit my point back up of where I said the things that I love about it are the engine swaps. You put an SR20 DET in here, gut the car out, you're gonna have a fun car. It's gonna be able to compete with a lot of cars. So this car is becoming pretty rare. It's hard to find parts sometimes, but it's not a headache, it's more of an adventure, because it also builds up to great stories behind this car. Well, those were my 5 points on the things that I love about this Infiniti G20. So let me know if you have any other questions about this car, because I know there's not a lot of stuff on the internet about it. The G20 community is very small. The Facebook group is about, I think, 1,500 people in there. Not a big group, but they're there to help you out if you're ever interested in this car. Who knows, this might just be the car for you. So let me go ahead and close out this video. Thank you guys for watching another video of mine. And if you think this was helpful in any type of way, go ahead and drop a like down below. Let me know what you thought about this overall video. And I'll be modifying this car a little bit, not too drastically, just to the point where it can turn some heads and be a lot cleaner daily driver. So with that being said, I hope you do subscribe and comment down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
I'ma blow up. Yeah.